Thank you, Wado.
Thank
wow.
you. One time for anybody out there chasing their dreams. One time for the family. One time for my day ones. And one time for the bad bitches in the back that's rocking with it, girl. Play with me. And just like that, baby, we officially live on the official Wado podcast with your boy YDOE. And we right here live in the FWMB studios from the beautiful lounge, baby. You see us, and I got my dog Elooo in the building. King Elooo.
What it do? What it do?
How you feeling, big dog?
Man, we in the building feeling great, man. We here with Wado.
As always, glad you came through, bro. I got a couple good segments, a lot of great questions for you. If anybody doesn't know, man, this is Elooo, one of the big three. He's a music artist. He is a CEO, an entrepreneur, a great dad, great husband, great leader, former athlete, okay?
Yes, sir.
Elooo, man, how you feeling today?
Man, I'm feeling good, man. Hey, man, I like the introduction.
Come on, I gotta let people know, right? I let people
I
know.
like that introduction.
And if it's one thing, bro, Elooo, you always let me know you appreciate me, you appreciate what we do, and I think that's big, dog. I've had people reach out on videos that I've posted of you saying, "Wow, I appreciate you," and they're like, "Bro, I'm glad he said that." So
that's facts.
On behalf of me, the show, Elooo, I appreciate you, dog. And if anybody didn't know, okay, Eloo's been around the game for a long time. Podcast,
oh yeah,
Earl 3 Vision. Okay, talk about Sip This Coffee with Elooo.
Man, Sip This Coffee is a growing show where we talk about life and sports.
Right.
You get my live reactions to everything. I come on there and I talk about whatever happened in the day's event, but I mostly want to break down the community. I want to try to get these young fellas' mind right, man, because we got a lot of talent around here, but without the right leadership, we'll never get it seen. I'm talking about from sports to music to everything.
Yes. And where are you from, Elooo? Let the people know.
I'm from Fort Pierce, Florida, man. Real Longwood, baby.
Come on now. Florida in the building, South Florida. I moved to Port St. Lucie when I was 5. I'm a 4th generation Floridian, so it's Florida or die, baby. You already know how we coming.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to Elooo. Shout out to Fort Pierce, Westwood. So now, Elooo, in your opinion, okay, so Elooo is a parent. How many kids do you got, Elooo?
I got 2 kids.
2 kids. Now, shout out to you, a great dad. I'd love to see them grow up.
Thank you, man.
How old are your kids?
I got a 15-year-old and a 9-year-old.
Come on now, right in the prime of it, okay? We're not even babies. They're still growing teenagers. It's a real deal. Some athletes, okay? Shout out to his kids.
Oh, yeah.
Elooo, for you, what is it like being a parent with kids in school? Because I feel obviously we went through school, but now you're a parent. I'm not a parent, so I don't know, but it's a crazy thought to have kids in school that you cannot see, you're not there for, right?
Right.
When I went to school, I feel like each older generation was different than ours. The books were longer, the people were bigger, people got smaller as the years went on. Class changes, rules changes. So it's like the school that your kids are going to is not the school you went to.
Right.
In my opinion, I might be wrong, but so you tell me, what's it like as a parent with a kid in today's modern school?
So what's funny is my son is actually going to the same school I went to,
wow,
but it's still a different school.
There you go.
The teachings is different. What they can wear to school. We had a full dress code. I went to Lincoln Park.
Yes.
They had a full dress code. Shirt had to be tucked in. All that good stuff when I was there. And now it's more lax. They almost wearing pajamas to school. But the thing about today's time, what the difference for me and what my kids get to go through is that they got me. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I didn't have no guidance or nothing. My mom, she was working 2 jobs. She was doing her best she can, and she was sending me to school hoping that I did my work and stuff, but I was completely doing the opposite when I was in school. But me knowing what I went through as far as the disciplinary stuff, running into teachers and all that kind of stuff, that was, pointing the finger at me before I actually did something. So with me knowing that type of stuff, I try to teach him to conduct himself properly. Yeah. And then in the situations where you need someone to speak for you, that's what we here for.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the main difference, understanding that I'm the voice for him and I'm the leader for him.
Love it.
And my daughter.
Love it. And I look back and I think about how important school was. Public school. I went to public school. I don't know about private school and stuff, but I think school molded who I am, who we are. Your parents are going to try to teach you the best things. You're the best in their eyes, obviously. But I think it's a reality check when you go to school and realize other people have talents.
Oh, yeah.
You realize people have disabilities. I'm blessed with certain things that I took for granted, right? I learned that in school. You see different household incomes. You see, I didn't know I was poor or middle class. I definitely wasn't rich. I met a couple of rich friends. So to you, what's it like having a kid go through that experience? And is it important to let them go through that experience? I feel like sometimes today people are they're sheltering their kids too much.
Right. They definitely got to go through it because at some point they leave home. At some point they're gonna leave home. So It's like right now, my son's in the middle of switching from an academic-based school to a full public school, Westwood. We're going to go to Westwood next year.
Absolutely.
So the things and the people he's going to be around is different crowds than what's at Leaker Park. But I feel as though those are the experience that he needs. He needs those experiences. For one, I went to Westwood too. I switched from Leaker Park and went to Westwood. And I know most successful people from Westwood, and a lot of people don't know that.
Right.
You know, they look at Westwood and they think, oh, that's the crowd of people that come out the projects. That's the crowd of people that come from the lowest end of Fort Pierce. You know what I'm saying? But those people have the most character that you're going to find. Those people are some of the most talented and smart people. It's all about if they can find the right path to get away from it.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So putting my son around that, I think it's the best thing because you're going to pull out the best arts in them.
Right. What's your thoughts on this, Elooo? I believe that as a kid and as people, we need fuel, and people get fuel from different things. Some people get fuel as the white boy trying to be a hooper. I got fuel from being counted out.
Correct.
You can't. So to you, how important, or I should say, I think everybody gets some kind of discouragement, some kind of I don't believe in you, and it's up to you to use that fuel. How important to you is it for someone going to Westwood, someone in that community, to use the disproportionate things, to use the struggles, and to put them as fuel for the right things? Use that fuel to create something real.
Right, man. I feel like the fuel is very much needed. As in, I give you an example. The kids that's coming into Westwood for the next couple of years, they should have the fuel that we haven't been deep in the playoffs in a long time.
Yeah.
They should have the fuel that we haven't been to the state championship ever. So it's on them now to bring that into the community. And the fuel is that you should want to be the first person to do that. Yeah. With a new coaching, they got a full new coaching staff at Westwood right now. 3 of them guys got the Division I SEC caliber school talent, you know what I mean, and they're coaching there. They got 2-3 ex-NFL players on the coaching staff. So now that the school and the community done developed you a coaching staff, are you going to put the work in, use the fuel of knowing that we got players like Khalil Max, the Albert Wilsons, and all these guys that's been straight from Fort Pierce. Use the fuel. Are you the next one?
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that fuel, I want to see, and I'm gonna keep putting Westwood on it because my son going there next year.
You got to.
And in the next 4 years, we want to bring a state title here.
Yeah, and it's awesome. You know, I'm a Port St. Lucie Jaguar. I'm gonna talk about the Jags. It's great. You got to talk about them Panthers. You got to talk about Westwood.
My boy Lubin over there, the head coach at PSL. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Lubin and PSL High too, man. Because I want to see that man do good.
Successful too. A long time we didn't know what football success was. And
he flipping it. He flipping the program.
And just like we talked about fuel, I think it's important to have examples. Shout out to Albert Wilson. Shout out to Khalil Mack. Shout out to Travaris Copeland coming from Westwood. My guy, all these guys examples of we from the same school that you at right now.
Right now.
Walk through the same halls.
Everyone.
Same gym clothes that you wore.
Yes.
And they made it. They did it.
Yes, sir.
So it's not we can't do it. It doesn't happen. It might be rare, but it has happened. And they are rare people.
Yes, sir.
Are you going to be rare?
You got to be. You got to be, man.
It blows my mind, Elooo, that in 2025 we still have so much talk about race, so much talk about white and black and white. As me growing up, I never saw color at all. Right. I enjoy basketball. I want to be a basketball player. Right. I enjoy hip hop music. Right? I didn't think I was a black kid. Right. I didn't think I was a strictly white kid. I thought I was a normal kid. Right. When someone asks me who's your favorite actor, I'm going to tell you Denzel Washington. Right. When someone asks you who's your favorite athlete, I'm going to tell you Michael Jordan, not because they're black, but because they're great. Right. I don't like black athletes or black actors. I like great actors. I like that. To me, it blows my mind how people are still using race as the forefront. That's probably going to be the last thing I use to describe somebody. Right. What color he was. You know what I'm saying? It's weird to me. So for you, does it surprise you, and do you have any effect on your life in terms of race 2025 right here? So I got this saying that I always say about history. I say to be a young black man in America studying history is almost to being raised at all times. Right. So I feel as though everybody should study and understand history because if not, it will repeat itself. Yep. So the number one thing about it is acknowledging. I think it all should be acknowledged to a certain extent. But to continuously to throw race into the factor on certain subjects, I don't agree with, you know. But I do think, you know, again, as a black man in America, we don't get the leadership roles exemplified to us.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So as a young black man, I believe all the young black boys in the world need to know the successful history of black history.
Yep.
They need to learn about Black Wall Street. They need to learn about all these great athletes that you just said. They need to go and study these history facts, but without being enraged to understand that there's a brighter day.
Yep.
And we in the country that was born and grew off of race.
Yep.
But I believe with the proper knowledge, growing and knowing it, that's how we get to the point where you have a white podcast host and yourself with a black podcast host and myself sitting here having complete conversation about anything that we can under the sun.
Yep.
With the proper knowledge, we can do that.
Yep.
With the lack of knowledge, you got rage, war,
yep.
all that type of stuff.
Yep.
So again, I believe that everybody need to educate themselves before they even speak on certain topics. And especially when we talking about a bloody history.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Factual history. Right.
Yeah, knowing the history behind things is the whole thing. And most of the time when you see people get enraged, it's because of the lack of knowledge.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the whole thing. I believe enlighten yourself on the history and continue to grow, because if we're going to talk about history and where we at in 2025, we know that race isn't a factor on a black man going further. You can't victimize yourself in today's world and say, I'm not this and that because of this and that.
Yep.
No. In today's world, we got the ability, we got the, whatever you want to say it, however you want to say it, but we have the chances to do whatever we want to do in the world. Black, white, Spanish, anything.
Yep.
So we're in a beautiful day today.
Elooo, what do you think about this? I believe, just like Denzel said one time in the interview, I don't believe so much in color. I believe in culture. I've met plenty of white people that were white skinned but had a different culture. And I've met plenty of black skinned people that had a different culture. Do you agree it's more, because to me, white and black is literally just the color of your skin. And I think there can be racist white, racist black. It's all about your culture and who you are. How much do you believe it's culture versus color?
That's facts. It's all cultural. You know, when we talk about hip hop music, that's cultural. When we speak on fashion, that's cultural. You know, all of these things, because the color of your skin, you don't wear black tees and baggy jeans. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You don't gangbang just because the color of your skin.
Right.
That's the culture of the black community. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, a lot of it is cultural, man. I got white friends, bro, that's been raised in the neighborhood just like me. You know what I'm saying? I got white friends that talk more with more slang and call it a corculate tone. Right. You know, I got some white friends, you know, that's been my boys since we was young. You know what I'm saying? So I understand completely. You know what I'm saying? And I agree with you, man. A lot of this stuff is pure cultural.
It's got to be, because I've always thought, like, what if, because we have people in this world that are deaf, that are blind, born blind, never seen. So if I'm born blind, I've never seen color at all.
Correct.
I bet he still understands culture. She would still understand a cultured person.
That's
Might not have know what their pigmentation looks like ever, but I can tell who's a racist, who's a mean person. Right? So to me, that's what we need to be looking at. That's what we got to be looking at. More so that, because only from my perspective, because I feel like I was one of the ones in my family to break the narrative. Right. I'm a fourth generation Floridian. Obviously, the further you go back in the past, the South will get a little bit more edgy, a little bit more racist, depending on who you are. There's always obviously great families at all times, but reality is reality. And for me, I enjoy basketball. My dad didn't want to watch basketball. Give a rat's ass about that basketball shit. That's what I heard all growing up in my life. I understood my dad is who he is. He's from who he was and where he's from. My grandfather's who he is. But this is what I like. I enjoy Lil Wayne. I hated country music, you know. Right. Maybe just because that's all my parents listened to, and they didn't like my hip hop music. Right. I didn't want to be black. I didn't ever try to speak black. Right. But just what I love. That's what I relate to. I like the beats. I like what they're saying, and I understand the message that they're relaying. Right. I might not live that struggle, but man, I like that. I like what he's saying. I hear it in the music. So you resonate to it. Come on. And I've had plenty of white friends that did me dirty. Oh yeah. And I've had plenty of black friends that were really my brothers. Right. So for you, is that reality? You know what I'm saying?
That's very much reality for me, man. For real. Like I told you, I got some white friends. One of my buddies stay right around the corner from here, man. His mom and dad, before they passed, was some of the most influential people in my life. Shout out to moms and pops, man. I got to say that, you know, moms and pops. I was at a dark time in my life. I couldn't go to the black community. I couldn't go over to my neighborhood because the police knew that's where I'll be at, and they'll pick me up from there.
Right.
So I was up here in PSL at Mom's and Pop's house. They chilling with me, you know what I'm saying? They know I'm on the run, but they were cool. This is a white family. I'm talking about the aunties, the whole family allowed me to come in. I'm Baby Earl to them. That's what they call me. Baby Earl, come on in. You know what I'm saying? And so my experience is totally different. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say I totally agree with you, bro. I've been accepted into families that when I look back on it, I say it like this here. That was a God connection there, bro. Because color and race wasn't involved at all. Man, I go into jail one time, and them people was looking out for me more than some of my own family members was. So yeah, I definitely understand the connection. I got another buddy. He on our football team and everything. When I tell you he was raised in the heart of Fort Pierce, and right now, to be honest with you, I don't even think he know that he white. You feel me? Like that's just how he is. Man, I mean, anybody in the city that know him know the same thing that I'm saying. They'll say the same thing. I don't think he know he white.
Right.
It's color skin because he's so far into the culture.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, that's dope.
And to me, that's what's the beauty of it. You should be yourself, and I think most people would appreciate whoever you are for being yourself. Don't try to be anything you're not, because if you were a nerd, quote unquote, you like video games and anime, we like you because of that.
For real.
Don't try to be a thug or be a cool guy because you're really not that. You going home playing anime.
Right.
Because then the friendships you make, the bonds you make aren't even legit.
Right.
They're not even real.
Right.
And so, have you ever dealt with people assuming who you are based on color? Assuming
definitely.
something about you based on color, or maybe being surprised about you based on color.
Shoot, right now, man, I go to tell you that I used to watch X Games and go outside and try it out. You
Come
wouldn't
on
believe
now.
me. Yeah, I was a Dave Mirror lover, man. I used to like
Rest in
Tony
peace to a
Hawk now.
great.
You feel me? You know what I'm saying? I was up here in Port St. Lucie. My mom moved up here when I was in middle school. She got a house up here in PSL. Man, I used to be outside skateboarding, doing all that. Man, I done surfed, played hockey, all that good stuff. So, there's a lot of stuff I done that you wouldn't have known. But I've had people, put me, because I'm an aggressive guy. When I get it, I'm a passionate guy is what I'm going to say.
That's right.
I talk passionate. We start talking about the Hurricanes right now, and you mentioned Florida State, I'm going to go ahead and say it very passionately.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people take me, when they first meet me, they don't know what type of guy I am. You know what I'm saying? But this is what I tell. I'm an all-American kid, man. I did everything under the sun you can do in Florida.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, I 360 around this thing, man.
Right. And I think, because obviously I dealt with it a lot as one of the only white boys at Sportsman's Park. I grew up playing at Sportsman's on the real court, too.
I was one of the only black people playing football at Sportsman's.
Come on now. So you know what it's like. And for me, I took that as a chip on my shoulder a little bit. I took pride in being the white guy there, and I wasn't the white guy. Right. Unless you didn't know me, people would take offense, like, "Oh, you about to put me on him," and then quickly anybody else in that park would be like, "Hey,
I done seen the tapes. I done seen you out going up there throwing down in the game.
That ain't who you think." That might. So I appreciated that, and I liked White Boy. White Boy was like a accolade if you called me white boy, because that tells you're not expecting this.
Right.
I didn't like cracker.
Right.
To me, cracker is the N word for me. I don't like that word, because when we think of police, what we call them?
Well, the crackers. So that's what they're gonna hit them with.
So to me, that word is a type of person, right? A type of white guy, and I don't like to be called that. So white boy was like a badge of honor. Like, that ain't no normal white boy. That's the realest one that ain't one. Like, okay, I like that. And on that topic, Elooo, as a father, someone that your son is in sports, plays, I believe, AAU ball, basketball, football. He does track. He's an all-around athlete. Shout out to Zach.
Oh, yeah.
What are your thoughts on AAU versus going to the park? I played AAU 1 year. I played for Team Florida later on in my career in 19U, but I was a park kid. I played at the park. That's what got me good at basketball. That's what unlocked my talents. I think today everybody has put the money in AAU, and to me it's a waste of time. What is your opinion, AAU versus the park?
The park where it at? I like to tell people like this here, you going to spend all that money on your kid, you don't even know what that boy going to like this here. But he go to that park, and he at that park all day. I'm talking about not even coming home to eat. He at the park drinking water, chilling with his boys, playing basketball all day. You know he love that game. Now we can invest in him.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of these parents is forcing their kids to do stuff, and that's why AAU is getting run down the way it is. You know, I'm seeing fights at these games. 2 weeks ago, I seen a parent pull a gun on a parent So that means that you made a conscious decision before you even left your car that the day is the day that if somebody tries something, I'm up in this fire. You get what I'm saying? AAU done went too far, man. Take these jits back to the neighborhood park, let them hoop all day.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I remember going to the park, sun up, and the sun down. Now we coming home. We done played 10,
multiple
15
sports
games.
too.
Oh, we done played football, baby. Yeah, man. We need more of that now. That's what created the athletes we are right now today.
Yep.
Back then, being able to run the neighborhood.
Yep.
You know, we might in between play tag, water balloon
That's
fight.
right.
You know what I'm saying? But manhunt, all of that. But we gonna play real games. Hey, during the game, hey, I'm gonna be Allen Iverson. You know what I'm saying? My boy gonna be Chris Webber and them. Yeah, we putting ourselves in the position. We seeing ourselves in the NBA before we even can get close.
That's right.
But AAU, they getting their feelings broke down. Your parents paying for you. If you're not a cream of the crop player, your parents is playing for you to be a bench rider because they ain't even finna put you in the game. AAU is all about top tier.
And to me, you see it in so many aspects. Even the top tier guys, the ranked guys, the top 100 ESPN, so many times, I'd say 90% of the time, they get it wrong. The top 10 guys who they projected in high school don't turn out who the top 10 guys of that draft are. They had Jalen Brunson at like 37. Jason Tatum wasn't even that high rated. Look at him now. They get it wrong a lot. So not only is it, and to me, that's the main thing. Parents will spend a lot of money and a waste of time. Now they're mad because I'm spending money and you're pissed off as a kid. Right. It's your fault, parent. For me as a player, I got really good later on in life. I played AAU before I got really, really good. So it didn't unlock nothing for me. To me, what unlocked me was the chip on my shoulder. I'm the white boy. I'm too skinny. And I unlocked my self-confidence and I became what I became.
Right.
The issue I have with AAU basketball today, Elooo, you tell me if you agree, is I think it gives certain players a false hope, a false narrative of how good they really are, strictly basketball. Because I see too many kids that I watch their AAU highlights, and they're highlights. They're making good moves, they're dribbling nice, shooting nice. And then when I see them in a public school, which to me matters way more. They're a shell of what they look like in that AAU clip. Now, is it because you're nervous? Because in AAU, all you're playing around is other players, 5 games going on at once, and now all eyes are on you. Your peers are watching you. Is it you have a real coach that cares now? Most AAU coaches are just here for a check and we're just trying to win. Your high school coach cares about you, and that's why they're tough on you. To me, I'd much rather be successful as my high school team than on an AAU team. I could care less if you drop 30 points in AAU this weekend. If you drop 30 points on a Friday night, I'm going to know about it. We're going to know. If you drop 30 points for Westwood High School and you go beat Martin County, we'll know. If you drop 40 at that Orlando AAU, shout out to you. So for you, watching the kids, what would you say to kids that are begging their parents to go put me in AAU? And me, I would say it's not worth it. I played in AAU and I didn't get no better than I did playing for public high school and playing at them parks.
Man, I say I'm with you on the whole. I believe it's a waste of time. First off, getting reps is always getting reps.
Yeah, maybe not a waste of time, but just sharpening. It's a sharpening tool, not the main thing.
Right, but you still need public school sports. I feel like this here. How you going to play, if you're trying to go to a collegiate level, how you going to play at a collegiate level, school, all of that stuff involve, grades involve, all that good stuff there, going to class involve, all that there. But you're not playing for your school. I know some players who only play in AAU. They're not even playing high school ball no more, bro. They just playing straight AAU. And it's like, how do you get into the standardized of playing for school ball if you just playing AAU? Like, I believe there's a disconnect in there somewhere. I definitely believe that. And I've been speaking on this, talking on it about, kids thinking that you can make it to traditional college without going to traditional high school. That doesn't add up to me.
And I think we're losing the values of what you get from that school. There's bigger values than come off of that court, that field, that track field that you don't get in an AAU every weekend. We playing together just like a glorified rec ball. I lost plenty of games in AAU. I got second place. We lost in a national championship at the Worldwide Sports at Disney. I couldn't tell you more than 5 plays in that game, but I could tell you every play of the games we lost at Port St. Lucie to Martin County. I cried in districts, right? It mattered more. Those are my brothers I fought with, struggled with. To me, that was worth way more than some scout watching me in Orlando. And we're missing that. And I think we'll hint a little bit because we can have a whole show on this. I'm not a fan of NIL. I'm not a fan of college money. I think as soon as you implement the money and the pro aspect, we lose it. I do feel, I'm gonna let you go because I know you're gonna let them know here. In my opinion, though, I feel it should be how it always was.
Right.
If you're Reggie Bush, I'm not mad that you get a check, brother.
Right.
If you're Vince Young, I'm not mad. You're Johnny Manziel, I'm not mad that you had some money under the table from some boosters.
Right.
But everyone doesn't deserve it because everyone's not a Reggie Bush. There might be one of those every 5 years. So those guys, you deserve it. For me, everybody else, we're here to get paid full ride, paid for a scholarship.
Right.
I played Division III. Mine wasn't a full ride. Right. I had to pay money, but I'm still a college athlete.
Correct.
That meant a lot to me. Nowadays, if you're not getting paid, does it even mean a lot?
No.
Nowadays, we got everybody leaving out. You love the Miami Hurricanes. I fear we're not going to have a Hurricanes because it's a mercenary.
Right.
They're in and out. We don't have 2-year period of hurricane way.
Right.
So what are your thoughts quickly on NIL and what it's doing to the college scene?
Well, right now NIL is in the middle of evolving. So this is what I believe about NIL. There got to be limitations to it. You know, freshman, sophomore year, I don't believe that you should be making more than a junior, senior. You know
or the coach.
Or definitely not the coach. That's if we're going to go NIL, that's the main thing got to happen, especially in high school sports here in Florida. The coaches got to get paid more. You can't talk about the level of football or sports period that Florida is producing when we're talking about Georgia coaches in football, Texas coaches, and California coaches making millions of dollars. Florida coaches not even making $50,000. And then we talking about high school kids making $50,000 and this coach making $20K to be out here trying to coach this kid.
Right.
That's how we end up in situations like what just happened with Kirby Smart and them in spring. Kirby Smart said he was not able to run his regular spring practice because all the freshmen came in out of shape. Why? They paid already.
Yep.
The hunger gone. It goes back to what we were just talking about, the fuel. What's your fuel?
Right.
If half of these kids' fuel is to make money and they make the money, how are we going to get them to perform again?
Yep.
So the NIL deal, I believe, freshmen, you come in at a base pay. You know, they done open it up. It's like this here, the guy from PSL himself, Destroy. He proved to us that the collegiate sports has enough money involved that all the kids can get paid.
Yep.
But it has to be a cap on it.
Or why not just do it like a fund? You earn this money. You can't touch it till you're done. And you can earn what you do on the way out.
I like that.
Because I think when you get it, that's when you mess up. Because I feel like as a college student, they're all saying, hey, they deserve some money. They deserve to live life.
These kids getting outrageous with it, man.
To me, every other college kid is struggling. Most college kids are eating ramen noodles, struggling, just like I was and everybody else was. The benefit of a college athlete, you're the star. You get to rep that jersey, rep our school. We're here to back you. And it's tough for you because you still got to go to class.
Right.
You still got to do all this. But the benefit of a D1, D2 level athlete, the benefits of being that, your room is paid for. Your board is paid for.
Right.
You don't need that cash money.
Right.
Now you're the superstar that you really aren't. And I think anybody can name any greatest athlete of any sport, and most of them went through a struggle.
Oh, yeah. That's
none of them was the man except LeBron James that was declared the chosen one and lived up to it. Most of the other ones, Tom Brady's, Antonio Brown's, weren't that guy.
No,
John
there was
Morant's.
nobody's until they was somebody. Yeah.
So I feel like we're taking away from the youth by taking that struggle away.
That's the truth.
I'm not a parent, but I hear parents all the time say, the more I baby my kid, the more you spoil them, the worse they'll be.
Oh, yeah.
The struggle is what made Elooo.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good question. I want to ask you that. I've always asked that of parents. I don't think I've ever asked you. How important is it for you in terms of your children? Is it for you to give them everything you never had and shelter them from everything that you went through? Or should you let it happen because that's what made you?
Nah, you got to let it happen. It's like this year was my son's first year on the football field, right? And I found myself sitting back and biting my tongue, like, don't say nothing. Let's see what he do. You know what I'm saying? You got to watch it. You got to see. Again, that's where the character is developed. That's where you find out, do he got fight or flight? You know what I'm saying? So I got to sit back and watch this here. I found myself, actually, the head coach, Coach Boston, he was like, say something to him. I'm like, well, you know, I'm trying to evaluate. So I'm trying to let him go through the go-throughs, and then you come to me and we could talk our way through it. Because one thing I always wanted to understand that it's never a loss, it's always a lesson. So whatever went wrong the first time, we're going to correct it and come back better the next time. You know what I'm saying? So that's the whole thing, because you got to go through the go-throughs. If you don't go through the go-throughs, I say that a lot on the podcast, and the guy pointed it out to me. I ain't even know that I be saying that, but it's the truth. You got to go through the go-throughs. There's a lot of things you're going to go through, and whatever it may be, you got to go through it.
Got to go through it to get to it.
That's how you build your, that's how, like you said, that's how Elooo became Elooo, them dark nights.
As a father, is it important to let your son get coached by his coach and not always 100%. Be able to look at dad and care more about what dad's? Because at some point I feel like some dads won't let the coach be the coach.
Right.
You need to yell at my son, discipline him, do whatever. That's your coach. How important is that? Man,
I sit back and let him get coached, man, because that's how I feel. I've been doing all the life coaching in the house already. I'm doing the coaching behind the scenes, you know, as far as whatever coach say to my son, I'm going to wait till I get them one-on-one, and I'm going to reiterate what coach say. Now, do I add my spice and flavors to the sauce? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Hey, coach said do this here. Now I'm going to show him my way of doing exactly what coach said.
Yep.
You know, okay, prime example. This year, when I play defensive end, I like to get down 3-point stands. You know, that's a firing off stance. You know, coach had told my son to stand up, come out of pistol stance like. I hate that at defensive end. So, you know, the first couple weeks, I'm watching, I'm like, you know, I'm going to watch him. But I never heard coach say it, though, myself. So when the first week was about to go to the game, I said, man, you need to go 3-point stands, man. I don't want to see you standing up like that. And then coach was like, nah, I told him to stand up like that. I'm like, oh, my bad, coach. I don't mean step on your toes now. If that's what you want your defensive ends doing, that's what they doing. But, you know, in my mind, my preference, you know what I'm saying? But that went in my team. That was that coach's team. And my son was on his team. So a lot of more dads need to learn how to take that back road, because your son probably tired of hearing you anyways.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I coach him 24/7. I coached him up to this point. Ain't no need for me to continue. Now, if I heard the coach give him something that's going to injure him or something like that,
I'm going to be his dad. You still going to be his dad. Right.
But if a coach coaching, I'm going to allow that coach to coach 100%.
And it's important to let that kid realize I know what my dad has taught me. I know right from wrong, and it's up to me to decipher, is this bad? Because eventually that son's going to have a boss.
Correct.
Co-workers.
Correct.
You're going to have to know how to manipulate society to benefit yourself.
100%. You
can't always be this hero, tough guy, number one. You got to be able to play the roles.
Right.
That's important.
Right.
Elooo, I want to ask you real quick. Let's talk about the rap game real quick.
Let's go.
As you know, you've been making music for years. As me, I made my first song in 2015.
Oh, yeah.
So 10 years now of Wado music. I've kind of retired a little bit, I guess, from it.
Yeah, we need some more of that Wado music,
I might bring it back. We're going to talk about a little bit, Elooo, of why I did, why I look at it a certain way. So Eloo's been making music a long time. Go check out all of his stuff. King Elooo, you can find all that. Shout out to the Big Three.
Yes,
LV, HT.
Yes,
one of the best groups I've always loved. They got great songwriting, great beat selections. HT's my favorite male voice I think I've ever heard in live, in person. But for me, Elooo, I looked at rap as a sport. As I mentioned, I grew up, I loved Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne was my guy. So I loved metaphors, I loved bars, I loved double entendres. He wasn't a Jay-Z telling you a story at all times.
Right.
And I realized how he rapped. It was freestyle, so I appreciated that. But when I came in, Elooo, I wanted to make songs. I would write my raps. I was good at making bars, and it was funny and clever, right? First time I ever went, Elooo, I didn't know what rap was. I had it wrong. Right. When I came to the studio, I had my intro written. I had my first verse, my chorus, third verse, second verse, and I did it the whole way through.
Right.
Press record, I did it all.
No stop.
I didn't know what stopping. I didn't know what punching is.
Right.
So they were like, damn, I've never seen that before. So I had to learn backwards what it takes to make rap. I didn't understand people punch these bars, most all of them. I didn't know if Rick Ross has a song with Nelly, they probably weren't in the room together.
Nah, they probably shipped it off.
I didn't realize that. So I'm going to start talking about the music game. I'm going to bring Q on a lot. Glad you're here to talk about it. We're going to start talking about the music game a little bit more.
Oh, yeah.
For me, Elooo, why I stopped is because I looked at it as a sport. And I really only wanted to be a rapper because I really wanted to be on stage and perform all that for sure. But I wanted to have a voice to make impact.
Right.
I wanted someone to look like me, to be where I'm from, to do what I do, to say the things that I want to say, to be the voice for the potential young me.
Right.
Like I said, my favorite athletes Michael Jordan, and I like dunkers. I don't know any white guys that slam for real like LeBron James. I didn't have anybody look like me. So same thing with rap. I don't want to be Eminem. I'm not the bit of rapping guy. I'm not trying to be black the way I spit. I'm just me. So I'm Watto. And once I realized, Elooo, that people are dying about this.
Oh yeah.
And not even for the right reasons.
Right.
Just because you're a target now. You're a somebody. People are jealous of you. People are envious of you. And I realized, man, you really better love this shit to be a rapper.
Facts.
And I realized, although I loved for what it is, I love the culture, I didn't wake up every day needing to express myself on a mic. Like, I think there are some artists that do. That's their expression. That's their ventilation, is put that beat on and give me my pen and my pad.
Right.
And I felt for the disrespect, to not disrespect people like that, I took myself out of it. Me, it's a sport. I'm having fun. I might be nice and better than a lot of rappers.
Definitely.
But it don't mean to me. And then podcasts popped off. So if I'm only doing it to get a voice, now I can just talk and be the voice.
Right.
I'm going to go do that.
Right.
So to you, why did you get into rap, and why do you continue to rap and make music to this day? And what has changed about your perception of making music now?
Well, okay, I'm gonna start with why I got into it.
Yep.
So, like I told you, I was a very active young man, man. When I was little, they used to call me bad. I say I'm active. So I stayed into a lot of stuff, you know. And I remember one day I was at my grandma's house in the plaza. My older cousin, Torn Lee, he came and picked me up. And he took me to the studio, bro. And him and his friends had a recording studio. And he took me to it. At that time, I had never been around the studio, no nothing. I probably was about 12. And he took me to the studio, and I remember that first day I was in there, I seen them in there. They was making their own CDs, their own shirts. It was called Hood Talent Records, Hood Talent HT, Hood Talent Records. And I walked in there, and I just remember that first feeling that I had in there. I was like, man, this is dope. Like, I just felt good. I felt like I was somewhere I needed to be at. You know, he wrote the first verse for me. He put me in there. When he showed me how he wrote it, I was like, I'm going to try that myself. Literally, the next week in school, I wrote my first rap. And when I wrote that rap, I was mad in class at the teacher. Yeah, so I done wrote me a whole little rap about some gangster stuff on the desk. Yeah, I'm about to do all kind of stuff to the teacher. So I rapped to my boy, I rap it to him. He like, but that sound good. I like, dang. So I had wrote my first rap and released myself. So I just kept writing. I started writing, releasing, writing, making up topics, all of that stuff there. And this is in school time. This is when I'm younger. So that's what started it, and that's where it's at now, man. I strictly love writing and recording music as a release. When I'm going through a lot, I got a lot on. I talk a lot about sports and stuff like that. But when I talk about stuff that I'm going in personally and what's going on in my life, I don't speak on it.
Yeah.
The only time I really do is if you listen to my music, you can hear it in there. I'm speaking on my upbringing with no dad. I'm speaking on my dad being on drugs. I'm speaking on my little cousin doing 25 years, I'm speaking on the feelings of my auntie and them having to live through that, of my little cousin catching all that time. And, I'm speaking on my cousin dying. All of this stuff in there is all release music. Yeah. So that's the main reason that I rap, man. I rap to give me a sense of out of the real world of that I'm living in.
Yeah. And I feel like every time I was rapping, and I always try to, everything I'm going to rap is true. I don't want to lie.
Correct.
I don't want to tell no stories. I might be able to know somebody and be close with people that really live something so I can base it off of that. But I was never going to lie. I didn't want to lie about anything. So I was kind of limited a little bit. I'm like, I can't rap about my real life. It's going to be boring a little bit sometimes. Right. So I had to find ways to be cool. That's why I like a boss man, D-Lo. He's a get money motion guy.
Having fun. Yeah. I love
that. So for me, Elooo, I felt like when I was rapping, and I was a writer, I wasn't a big freestyle. I could freestyle, but I didn't want to, if I went in the studio, I needed to come correct. Right. I was real nice at freestyling, just at the party, but I wanted to come correct. And to me, it felt like it was writing itself. It was a puzzle. I was connecting the dots.
Correct.
It was this and that. To you, what's that process like for you?
The same, man. I'm a writer. When I come to the studio, Q will tell you, man, I probably total time, I probably never been in the studio more than 2 hours because I'm gonna come prepared. I'm gonna come prepared. I'm gonna lay down. I'm talking about with the project. I got albums where it's 10 or more songs on them, and we went in here 10 hours.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Because we're gonna come prepared. We're gonna come written right, man. Like you say, while I'm writing, I let the beat speak to me. You know what I'm saying? When that beat start playing, if it catch me, and I feel it and the topic come off the top of my head, that's the one right there I'm finna write on. That's my writing process, letting the beat talk to me. Yeah.
I love that. And for me, when I met my mentor, he's really plugged. I'm trying to get him on the show, but he can't really be on camera and shit. So shout out to my mentor,
right.
CD. I won't even say the name, but when he found out I made music, Elooo, he connected me into a lot of people in the music industry.
Oh yeah.
And sent them my music. And I wasn't really prepared for it. And a guy named Jay Ski is who he sent it to. Jay Ski is a member of the Quad City DJs, 69 Boys.
Oh, yeah.
He's got classic songs like Space Jam,
you know
Tootsie Roll.
Oh, yeah.
So he heard my music and called me. And he was on the way home from OKC. And this is a pivotal moment in my career, Elooo. And he called me and said, Wado, I like your music a lot. My man sent me your music, but I did my due diligence and researched the rest of it.
Right.
I didn't just hear the one. I like what I like. And he's asking me, why do you make music? What do you see yourself? And I'm telling him, just like I tell you, I want to be the popping flyest dude. I want to change the world.
Right.
I want to bridge the gap of black and white. I want to bridge the gap of reality. I want to make good music. I want to inspire somebody. And I want to have a voice.
Definitely.
And he told me, well, it's a hard game. It's a hard industry. And here's the reality of today's industry. Because he was coming in again, he's competing with guys like MC Hammer. Early Tupac, Biggie Smalls and shit. Uncle Luke,
Uncle Luke. See, I'm about to say Uncle Luke now.
And he said, Wado, I was never as good as them. I wasn't trying to compete with them. I was never the best artist, but I was the smartest artist.
Right.
And he said, this is the issue. I know Chris, whatever his name was, president of Atlantic Records. I could call him right now and say, Chris, I got a boy named Wado, white boy from Florida. He's the truth. Well, sweet. Cool. Can Wado, shout out to Wado, can he sell out the Bay this Friday?
Yeah.
And if the answer is no, we're going to go with Lil Pump. Even though we think Lil Wado is probably better than Lil Pump, but he's selling them tickets. That's what the kids want to see. That's what we're going with.
Right.
So we said, this is the rap game, Wado. People got to like you. You got to go with the flow, or you got to be real good and attracted. And so he said, in my day, I didn't want to be the best rapper. I want to be the smartest rapper. So he said, I wasn't competing to be the man on the radio in the time. I went to the movies, to commercials. He said, I made music for commercials.
Right.
He said, I took it smart. The most popping candy at the time, Wyatt, was Tootsie Roll. We made a good beat. We're calling it Tootsie Roll.
Tootsie Roll.
He said the producers of Space Jam. Now at that point, now we're a band. Now we're making songs.
Right.
Director of Space Jam says, I'm making a movie about Michael Jordan and Bugs Bunny. You want to be in it? We're doing a soundtrack. And Jay Ski said, what's the name of your movie? Space Jam. That's the name of my song.
Space Jam.
Didn't make a sound and write a chord, a song. He said, I want you to think of my song when you think of the movie.
Right.
And 30 years later, you think of I Believe I Can Fly, and everybody get up, it's gonna slam now.
Yeah.
So I realized, okay, people are smart. It's not all just I'm a big gangster.
Yeah.
I'm this guy. It blew my mind, Elooo, when I figured out a lot of my rappers are 4 feet tall.
Yes, sir.
When I figured out they're not living like that.
Yes, sir.
They're not really rich.
Yes, sir.
And then I realized, well, if that's the case, then why am I chasing this to be that? And if you do have independent guys like shout out Tech Nine, shout out Joyner Lucas, to really make that money the other way, but you don't hear about them.
Right.
So for you, Elooo, now you've been in the game, we know you ventilate, but now how do you look at the music industry knowing what it is, knowing what it's really like?
Hey, it's like this here, man. I said some stuff early on my story, and I told him, I said, I'm the rapper you really should listen to.
Yeah.
Because I'm the rapper that's really taking care of my kids. I'm the rapper that's really doing everything that I say that I'm doing.
Kids at his show.
Yeah, the kids at the show. The kids come to the studio, man. I got music with the kids. You know what I'm saying? When we think, again, when you talk about all of the rappers that we grew up listening to, we didn't realize how fabricated a lot of their lifestyles was. Yep. And then when you grow up and you realize how real your lifestyle is, and you realize, like, man, I became everything that this is what I say every day. Everything that I wanted from rap, I obtained without rap.
In real life.
In real life. I'm already living in my own house. I have multiple cars in my driveway. You know, I see my kids every night, every morning. I send them off to school. I take my daughter to school. You know, I'm already living the life that I thought that I was going to obtain from rap. So, you know, all that facade, fairy tale stuff that I do see these people, like, as far, like look at me dressed right now. I don't walk out dressed like rappers. I could.
Right.
I could go and buy the designer clothing, the jewelry and all that. I could go out and, hurt myself to do that.
Yep.
I really make money, so I could do that.
Yep.
Why do that when I'm really living the life that I dreamed of? A couple nights ago, bro, I was on my back porch and I'm frying chicken.
Yeah.
I looked at the sky and say, bro, there's no other place in the world I would want to be right now. Like, I want to be right here drinking this bamboo, frying this chicken.
Yeah.
You feel? I don't know if you've seen the young kid out of Philly. I think his name is
the
Q.
rapper that just got killed. Rest in peace. He was doing all the freestyle raps.
Correct, and all of his music is he's the voice for the youth.
Right.
He has a positive message. He still got murdered. That's where I get confused at and just be like, man, the whole rap game's sour right now. But then I also hate when we do blame the music because we got artists out here like us.
Right.
We got all kind of artists that put out good music. You know what I'm saying? That's not the music that's being highlighted. That's not the music that's being glorified. So the good music out there. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So the rap game to me is a confusion state. I listen to guys who I can learn from. I listen to guys who when I hear them, I know they've been through what they speaking on. Yep. You know what I'm saying? They're not out here telling fairy tale stories. They've lived through some things. These guys actually already been to prison. These guys actually already been to the hospital. They're not hypothetically speaking on things that's gonna make them end up in prison and make them end up in the hospitals. So that's the thing. I think only thing we can do with the rap world is continue to educate. The same thing I said at the beginning, man, the lack of knowledge. And a lot of these youth, the lack of knowledge is they want to do the most popular thing. Yeah. And the most popular thing, getting them killed and dead, and they overdosing in no time, man.
Right. Man, as a kid, I couldn't wait. When I remember vividly, being 7 years old, I couldn't wait to be 13. I couldn't wait to be 16. I couldn't wait to be 18. Boy, I wait until I get to 21. When I'm 25, I got it all. Now, 31 years old, I'm like, man, I wish I could go back.
Right now.
Boy, I wish I could go back and slow down.
For real.
So I think a lot of the kids are in such a rush, and they don't realize y'all are in the best time, the most free, the most carefree. I could be whatever I want time in your life, and they're in a rush to get out. And sadly, a lot of kids are losing their lives these days.
Yes, sir.
Elooo, I want to ask you, I'm glad you spoke on it because I already had this written down, brother, because I already consider you this. How does it feel to be rich? In my opinion, a lot of people don't know what rich means. We know what wealthy is. Wealthy is a dollar sign and a value, but rich, like Bob Marley said, I'm rich in many things. To you, just like you said, many cars, more importantly, a family. You're in your kid's life. You have your kids. You have a support system. To you, what does it mean? What does it feel like to be rich, and do you consider yourself rich?
Right. When you put it in terms of the great Bob Marley senses, when he say possessions are supposed to make me rich.
I don't have these type of riches.
That's me right there. I don't have those type of riches. I'm not. Well, I say I got 3 cars. I ain't talking about I got a Maybach, BMW truck in the, you know what I'm saying, Tesla truck, none of that there. I got 3 forms of transportation that I can do what I need to do when I need to do it. That's the type of rich that I am. I'm rich to the point that I got a loving family in the house. My mom and all, I can still communicate with them, my cousins and all that there. It feels great to be rich, to answer your question. It feels great to be rich. Rich in love, rich in connections, rich in brotherhood, like me and you, rich in, those things are priceless values that I thank God for.
Yeah. Because that's somebody, I've done blue collar work my whole life. I've done a lot of hurricane shutter work past 7 years. So I've seen a lot of rich people with money, millionaires, billionaires. And Elooo, I tell you what, I don't think that they're rich in the terms of what we're talking about.
Correct.
A lot of these people have mega mansions, but they're only there 3 weeks out the year. Correct. That's not home. That's not home base. When I see you have 4 different workers, assistants that do things for you. If I go to Eloo's house right now and something breaks, I bet you're going to be the first to try and fix it.
I got to fix it.
Come on now. To me, that's rich.
Yes, sir.
Dad, the provider of the house, is going to try to go do something. He might not be able to do it all, but the fact that you're going to go give it an effort and try to figure it out first, to me, is you the man of that house. You the woman of that house.
Yes, sir.
Because anybody with money can call to get everything solved.
Oh, yeah.
But at some point, you can't call.
Yeah.
At some point, that hurricane hits, and no matter how rich you are, evacuations aren't happening. You got to be able to fend for yourself. To me, that's why you're rich.
Yes, sir.
And not enough people realize that. And I think it's important what you said. Everything I wanted in the rap game, I got through being a real man,
yes,
through
sir.
the real world. And I feel like we don't look at that because that's rich. Because let's say you were Elooo, the famous rapper.
Oh, yeah.
If you had 5 shows in 3 weeks, you wouldn't probably see your kids that much.
I
You're
wouldn't
gone.
see them. I missed all the football games, everything.
So and if you listen, every superstar, famous actor, athlete, celebrity, rich person, they all have the same kind of stuff. I would give it all up to be at that kid's game.
Facts.
To see him walk, to be there, to have the freedom.
Right.
You can call out.
Right.
As a famous rapper, you call out sick and you miss 2 shows, you better be ready for thousands of people coming at your head.
Oh, yeah,
if Elooo calls out
everything.
for work, all right, I'll see you on Tuesday.
Yes, sir.
So be careful what you ask for. And I think it's important to highlight people that are rich. And for me, Elooo, I always want to break that down and let you expand on what's it like being rich. And do you consider yourself rich?
Yes, sir. Yes, I do. I do consider myself rich in those values. And it's a beautiful thing too, because like you said, you got people who got, acres of land, $1 million mansions, and they're still empty in the inside. They still feel lonely, all of that good stuff, man. So I take my house, I take the life that I'm living right now, and I enjoy it for everything. And I always say that, man. Recently, I've been just doing a lot of reflection, and I always say, I thank God I caught the picture when I caught the picture. Because if not, I would have been out here still trying to chase a high that ain't even real.
Falsified vision.
Yeah.
Dream.
I'm seeing the mirage in the road. You know what I'm saying? Now, I want to actually feel it and touch it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm doing right now, and I'm thankful.
I love that, man. So last one I got for you before we go to a cool little music breakdown session.
Yes,
Elooo, I want to ask you, do you think, in my opinion, I think it's a superpower as a man to be able to control your anger. I feel like today you go online, you see road rage incidents, you see people popping off on a Karen. I think men, women, you can feel how you want. I'm a man, I can't speak for women, but as a man, I think it's a superpower to be able to control your anger, because it can either fuel you to do more than you thought you could, and it can definitely push you to places you didn't think you'd go.
Facts.
To you, is controlling your anger a superpower, and is it important to do so?
It is very important to do so, and it's very much a superpower. You could controlling your anger could keep you alive, because you could temporarily lose your temper and lose your life. You get mad and not analyze the situation properly and think that it's just one person in this situation, and you in the room against the odds. You know what I'm saying? But I'm so mad right now, I'm about to show him, but he with him, in her.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Controlling your temper is everything, man, especially as a man. I'm in the middle of reading this book right now. It's called Jason Wilson. It's written by Jason Wilson. The book is called The Man the Moment Demands.
Wow.
The Man that the Moment Demands. And once you are a man, you are in a position of leadership. Yep. So at no point do you have time to lose your mind, lose your cool, lose your head. You have to be at a level head spot so that you can, control everything that's going on, plus yourself. Controlling you is everything. He who angers you controls you. So
exactly.
Yeah, like you got to control the anger.
Because I believe fully in you should be a warrior in a garden and not a gardener in a war.
100%.
And that, to me, doesn't mean everyone just needs to be a savage and a beast and a dog, but it means you have to have that in you, capable of that, but you also remain calm. That garden is still a garden. I
got a perfect example for you. With that saying you just said. All right, I'm a girl dad. I got a daughter. She's 9 years old today. We out in public. I need to have the ability to protect my family. I'm paying attention to everything going around, seeing he's staring too long, seeing his exit over there. But at the same time, baby girl gonna need me to communicate with her. I still got to be level-headed to communicate with her. No matter if I'm looking at the dangers around, ready to attack on something, when baby girl speak, I need to be able to be daddy for baby girl.
Daddy, look at this real quick.
Yeah, I still need to be able to, oh, baby, that's nice. But still over here, like, what he got going on? You know what I'm saying? I got to find him. I'm going to go ahead and take him out. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to be provider, protector, and lover.
And I think it's, as a man, how much of a man you are is how easily can someone get that out of you. Because through life, no matter how you look at it or not, maybe they're not trying to get it out of you, but you're going to find people that are trying to get you angry, and might even be your girl, might even be your significant other.
Correct.
And as a guy, it's important to be able to control that, to be able to You should be able to snap. I feel like you need that.
Oh yeah,
it's a defense mechanism. It's in us, but I feel like it should take the most. If you stand in line at Chipotle and they took a little extra to get your chicken instead of steak, if that sets you off, I don't want to go to war with you.
No sir,
I don't want you on my team.
Yeah.
You know, to me, it's we've so much is it's not my way. It's not right. I'm snapping, and I'm like, I look at you as a kid. You might be big and strong with big muscles, but you a little kid.
Man, whenever I see that stuff, I automatically ask what he got going on in his life. You know, when people just can't control themselves, it's like, yeah, like you said, you're a big kid, man. You have no self-control, you're a big kid.
Right, and you got to realize, especially the kids, there's always someone bigger and badder than you, because you always going to find that person that thinks they're big and bad, but I know some big, bad people that would love to test that and to come show you. So, and then if you've seen violence, you've been around violence,
bingo,
you realize nothing great comes out.
Man, I heard this thing earlier. Yeah.
Was it worth it? It's not worth it.
Man, I heard this thing earlier. He said, the dude said like this here, the people who walk around displaying the most aggression is the people who ain't been through nothing.
No way.
They ain't been punched in their mouth nan time. That's how they don't know how I feel to get hit upside the head and got to heal for 2 weeks when that lump ain't went down yet.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That be the problem. They ain't been punched yet.
Right.
So they don't know the reality of that aggression that they got. Some of the most peaceful people I know in life are all the people that I trained with from MMA to boxing, the jiu-jitsu. Them some of the most peaceful people to you, and they know that what they can do to you.
That's right.
But the people who don't even know what they can do, they don't know their abilities.
I'm going to turn red. I'm going to see red and become this.
When I black out, all right.
Yeah,
you're going to wake up and find out that I put you out.
Right. Because, and that's what people don't understand. Most people don't get MMA fighters, boxers. It's not that they're training to how to be on offense and do damage. They're training on what it's like to deal with getting punched and someone coming at you. And most people that think I'm going to turn red and become this gorilla, as soon as something's at you, you don't know how to, you start freezing up and, you just think I'm going to smash.
Right.
Nah. And anybody that's seen a real fight, seen real violence, seen people really get shot, really get killed, somebody get killed from a punch, getting hit in their head on pavement, it ain't none of it's worth it. None of it's worth it. And I've had many battles with people, and later on in life, we good.
Definitely.
Too much today, it's the end of all.
Oh, yeah.
It's over.
Oh, yeah.
And I think even today, I think it's great for podcasts. Like, you can't get that angry. Like, we're going to have segments where me and you might disagree and go at it. And it's important to be able to go, we arguing full on. I don't agree. My Gators are better than them Hurricanes.
Yeah.
At the cut of it, hey, brother, love you, dog. Hope you get home safe.
Oh,
boom,
yeah.
Boom. When we come back the next week, it's right back.
Oh, yeah.
So you can't let it take over who you are.
Right.
And too many people are doing that. Elooo, man, thank you so much for coming by. This is episode 86. Any last words you want to give to the people? This is King Elooo himself, dog.
Man, y'all know, check out the podcast.
Always.
And look up the hair products.
Do you stream it live? Or is it recorded and you post?
Recorded and post.
Perfect.
But we do some live streams. I was actually doing live streaming. Didn't know I was live streaming the first couple episodes.
Right.
So
I'm going to get with you after this. I'm going to tell you what I do and let you get on that same platform as you should.
Yeah. We're going to do it all. We're going to chop it up, man. But like I always say, man, just put positivity in the community, man. Put a smile on your face so you can put a smile on somebody else's face, and we'll make the place better, man. That's my thing.
Come on, man. Y'all already know it's your boy Wado. Only the real. I appreciate my guest. This is King Elooo, a brother of mine, man. Go check out Eloo's music. The Big 3 coming soon. Recording right here, man. You already know. New albums coming soon. New singles dropping. And we're going to do a nice little segment, a little music review, an album review here. So stay tuned for that. But until next time, you guys, I appreciate y'all tuning into the Wado Podcast. This is Elooo, and this is episode 86. And I hope you're having a great day, a great night, and most importantly, I hope you're having a great life.
Yes, sir.